what an MC's job is to do within drum and bass is just a compliment.
The MC compliments the DJ and vice versa, reads the crowd.
An MC is somebody that relates what the DJ likes from what he likes, from what the crowd likes.
An MC is supposed to be a master of ceremony or whatever. To me, it's music connection. That's my new word for an MC.
To be a good MC, a good drum and bass MC, I think you need a fairly powerful voice. I think you need to be fairly clear.
And you gotta have a lot of balls, straight up. Because you can't just go MC in the bedroom for the rest of your life.
He's confident with his lyrics and he's confident with the crowd.
No, personality, charisma, stage presence, it all sort the package. It's not just one thing you've got to be good at. Nowadays, lyrics just ain't enough.
It's all about being versatile, having your own style. It's not about biting, man, watching the next man. Just do your own thing.
Basically, what makes a good MC is when you write and when you speak it, people can see it. You know what I'm saying? Like picture it when you're talking. You know, some people you can't picture nothing with that.
Yeah, I know you listen to music, but I know you play PlayStation as well. Or I know you like your cars as well. Or I know, you know, anything that I know that I think that you may relate to, I'm gonna try and spit about.
If they're a lyricist, then obviously this stuff has to be written or it has to be constructive. I'm not into the, as Navi would say, do, re, mi, 1, 2, 3, MC. You know what I mean?
In the beginning, it's all battle lyrics. Me, slaying other MCs. I'm the top dog. I'm the man. You know. But now there's more love in the game. Me personally, I chat a lot of girl lyrics because man like me love me girl them still. You get me? So I've got enough girls lyrics. I've got certain bad man lyrics, certain shotting lyrics. You know, you got party lyrics, rave lyrics, vibes lyrics. You know, you can open up the whole spectrum.
What I'm talking is the real. You know what I mean? Big man boss 409, police them search and sometimes they want to find. It's just lyrics at the end of the day, and the lyrics is from real life scenario. Not saying that, you know what I mean, we're in it, but I'm just saying that's life.
A lot with me is just that I've been through a lot and I've seen a lot and I chat about what I've seen. And as a white guy as well, I grew up on the streets, so you know, I grew up in Hackney, East London, around a lot of things happening. So I chat about what I can see and what I've seen in my life.
If a DJ's playing wicked rhythm tracks, yeah, he just draws words out of my mouth. He will make me say some other things.
There's a load of words floating above my head. Yeah, you just grab the words. When you're in the freestyle, you just grab the words. You got words floating, whole loads of words in this world, you know?
It's not really about firing lyrics all the time. It's about just being able to hold the crowd. I mean, you could be firing lyrics all night long, and if people ain't moving, then that ain't a good MC.
Boy, a lot of people say it's about the double time and that, but really and truly it's about your style.
I think the double time thing has just been totally ripped, basically. I think everyone's doing it because they think that that's the way it should be done, but not necessarily. In certain instances, yeah, but not necessarily over every tune. A lot of the time in the rave, people don't necessarily hear what you're saying, or they can hear it's the double time flow. When you get time to break it down a bit, people can understand lyrics a bit more and stuff like that. Clarity, as I said, is always very important.
Any good MC that's worth their salt will feel the music and want to shut up when certain mixes is running anyway, car, they start getting confused. But other man, they like to just hear their own voice, I think. But my definition of a good MC is knowing when to shut up.
A good MC will know when to keep quiet and know when to do his thing. The wrong MC won't, and that's when you have problems.
Or when you get like 7 15-year-olds in some back-to-back rave, all battling with each other and forgetting that there's even a DJ there. You get me? Them times now you just have to. Out comes the mic, straight up.
We're all back. To become a good MC, you have to just be on it. Yeah? In it, with it, go through the ups and downs, lyrically. And stay focused, stay away from drugs. Yeah. Smoke cannabis.
In my philosophy, or in the real philosophy then, because it's not even my philosophy, this is a universal philosophy, right? You have the past, you have the present, and you have the future, yeah? And they're all linked, yeah, by energy, yeah? You have the energy to take things from the past into the future, and then from the present into the future. So you have to understand how to conduct your own energy. You have to understand how to use your skill to attain or achieve what it is your aspiration is. That is not an MC thing or a DJ thing, or, you know what I'm saying? You guys out there watching this are thinking, you know, might be thinking, oh, shut up, or you might be thinking, wow, yeah? But the same guy that's holding the camera, right, wasn't born holding the camera. Yeah, just like I wasn't born holding a mic. Yeah, and the guy that's asking the questions, he couldn't speak when he was born. Yeah, as a matter of fact, right, I couldn't sit on the toilet and go and have a number 2 by myself. Yeah, my mum used to clean my batty for me. Yeah, so I'm saying everybody comes from nothing, and then you elevate to whatever it is. It's all about how you use your mental and about how you use your inner to reach to where it is you wanna go to. In early reggae days, a lot of the beats and the rhythm tracks that were there at that time never had vocals on them. So it was a free space for a man to express himself one time. And they would actually get on the mic and be like, you know, juke it up one time, people. And just give it this kind of, I don't know, it's this vibe, just give it that little flavor that it just needed that little just added emphasis. The crowd's getting off to the music and you just say one thing and the crowd just, and they respond to that, and that to me is how MC started.
Our DJing original dancehall.
The reason why on the ragga circuit an MC is called a DJ is because back in the day, they were actually DJs. They used to chat on the mic and play the music at the same time.
Our DJing original dancehall. You know what I mean? What they call bashy today is the same thing, nothing change but the lyrics and the beat them start change up, you know what I mean? But I started out on dancehall. Yeah, that's where everything come from. Dancehall.
And then because like the rhythm track was so sweet and they just do this little thing like we say, oh, 7 or whatever, and then it would just fit so nicely that eventually they'd end up recording it, it would become a track and then it would be a massive hit, and that's how they really nurtured their careers and started off as MCs.
Them sort of days when I was little, I was too young to know what was going on, but it was mainly a person, man, a female, bigging himself up, bigging up where they come from, their environment, you know.
And then when it kind of got into the dancehall mode, which is just right at the end of the 70s going into the 80s, was when I decided, like, I love this thing so much and I know I can do it, I'm gonna get on the mic.
Well, I started MCing back from early 70s coming back up to late 70s coming back up to the 80s, you know, and Wild Bunch Disco in Jamaica, which was my uncle's disco. Then I moved on to Youthman Promotion. Then I came to the tour, did the England, met Simon Harris, then Rodigan, and then the whole thing kick off. Ragamuffin Hip Hop was born, Ragga House, Ragga Rock with Led Zeppelin, Daddy Freddy, the whole 9 yards. You see me? Yeah.
Drum and bass give you something else. The sound system, you weren't with it. You know what I mean? Have nothing to do with the sound system. The DJ come by himself. So we're using a sound system, you'd come with about 20 blokes, box boys, selector, owner, and the other DJs, you know what I mean? But now with drum and bass, you go to the place, somebody got the promoter got the place. The promoter organises a sound system and he organises all the DJs. So all you do is bring yourself there because the promoter call you by yourself. So that's not much baggage, you know what I mean? All you got to do is get your script right.
Because I came from like the early reggae sort of, because my old man, he did sound systems and was part of the Aswad thing. And so I got the toasting side of it, you know what I mean?
I used to carry, go around with the sound system in the van and I'd see everything being played out. So I knew what it took to be on the sound system and be the artist.
My earliest influences in music was through my uncle called Preacher. He used to run like a little sound thing down in Battersea called Providence in the 70s and 80s. After doing a dub plate, I see that a lot of people was taking notice of me, and it continued. And one day I got a call from Black Star Sound, and after working with Black Star, doing quite a few things with Slipper Goldie, it's classic on the radio, he's up on the Heatwave, it still plays now. Then I went into V-Rocket, who's run by Valerie Robinson, who runs that sound system, who also runs a radio station now. And doing that, I came across quite a few of the Nottingham DJs, and that is where I kind of started doing that little circuit there.
When I was young in school, we used to have our own sound. We used to play at the school parties, them and the little house jams and thing. And I was the mic man, chatting to lyrics and styles and certain little dubs for the crew and thing. You get me?
With me, we started about 85. I started to work with sounds like Black Star. Well, first of all, Supertone sound. When I was like really young, 12, 13, 14, trying the thing. My voice hadn't broken at the time, so it was a bit hard at the time.
1979. You know, and that's when I left school, 16 years of age, and just went out into the sound system world because I just wanted to do that. I always worked, I always had a job, I always had a job, man. I always tried to earn some money, you know what I'm saying? Because you have to be real about it. You can't think you're gonna be Nas or Puff Daddy or Busta Rhymes or whoever you think you're gonna be. It's not gonna happen like that.
The Martians are coming this way.
When I actually got into the scene, I'd never really heard a drum and bass MC. I hadn't heard any MCs, you know what I mean, really, on that scene. I didn't know who was who or what was what. I just knew what the music was. So I just did what I thought should be done, basically.
Then the MCing thing was mainly through my cousin Rodney P, like when I was really young, and then he blew up, and then I didn't see him for a little while, and then by the time I saw him again, I started MCing.
I used to be into like hip hop before. I didn't even like drum and bass before, you know what I mean? So all the people there, you know what I mean? But
I remember when hip hop was born. Yeah, I remember when hip hop just came around and it was like the new thing on the telly. Yeah, where it's like, yo, look at these guys in America, they're rich, and they're scratching and they're doing this thing called body popping and they're breaking. And yeah, I remember when it was the new fad, yeah, and they thought, yeah, it's gonna be a little thing and it's gonna die. And look at hip hop now, yeah, and it's the same thing with drum and bass.
88, 89, like the acid house thing, I wasn't really into it, you know what I mean, because I came from the ragga side of it. We thought it was devil music and shit like that, but there was certain tunes that held me, you know.
You know, people may or may know that I kind of stumbled into the world of jungle, drum and bass. 93, 92, 93, you know, everyone was just being infected by jungle. Everybody was starting to listen to jungle. You know, I can't really get, you know, too deep into the hip hop now. I can't really get too deep into the ragga now because that's a ragga thing. That's an American thing. But this is a UK thing here. It's close to home. I feel I can, you know, do with some of this.
The actual first rave I done was a rave called Outrage at Busby's, which was 91. Then I got into that with Telepathy, 92, 93. Which was doing like the Wax Club every week and just little things like that.
Man, I started off with Monday Club. Like with Rat Pack and all them people there and the Holy Potter Mans them. Don't know who they are. You know what I mean? Started off a long time ago, 91, 90.
Well, the first rave I went to, what I noticed all the, you know, MCs and when the limelight was roast. I think most of the raves at the time I came into, the MCs were a prominent thing, you know, the A-Team, the 5-0s, Navigator Debt. You know, even Fearless. You know, these are guys that I remember when I was a nobody.
Up until like 93, 94, I weren't really getting a lot of work. Maybe 1 or 2 things every week, or maybe 1 thing even every 3 weeks. Do you know? And obviously now things are just crazy, man. They're hectic.
The first ones I actually got to know was like VIP Crew, Hardcore General, Paddy and them boy there. Man Paris, Bassman, Stevie Ipa.
God rest his soul, Stevie died. And it's a bit of a madness for me because like the way I see it, I was doing a lot of work with Mickey and stuff, and then when he died I started to get more work, started to question myself a little bit. Do you know what I mean? It's a bit fucked up, see when you originally die and go and then all of a sudden you're getting more work, you know what I mean? So I had to question myself a little bit and then say, well, alright, if that's happened and that was step up to the plate and represent for my man, that's how he would be.
Hearing Hyper D back in the day, stinging it, going in the rave scene, standing there as a raver, looking at the stage, seeing what's going on, saying, yeah, I want to be there. You know what I'm saying? And now I'm there. You get me?
Sometimes I used to do the raves, you know what I mean, like with my friend, my late great friend, you know, Hyper D, Stevie Hyper D. You know, because you know me from back in the days, he used to come check me in Brixton and, you know what I mean? We go at the little 1 and 2 jungle them, you know what I mean? Because they sample my voice in the warning, you know? So I was one of the first voices that they sampled along with Shabba Rankin, you know, make it steer so someone wanted coarse and ragamuffin. That's me.
Obviously, Cool FM, you know, has been there for almost 13 years now. They've been in it before it was even jungle, you know, they've been in it from just playing music.
Reggae sound systems were like it was like you're serving your apprenticeship as an MC. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the MCs nowadays are serving their apprenticeships on pirate stations, which is basically the equivalent of what a sound system was back in the day, really, a pirate station now.
I went on to Cool FM in 92. And that's where I met a lot of people. Met a lot of people like That's when I first met Navigator, because his show was on with him and Swift, the one-to-one show. One-to-one! And we used to come on after them, me and Crazy Legs, and like, there used to be a whole heap of laughs in the studio, and just 4 mad characters, and then that's basically it. It moved on from there.
Got on radio in about 95, 96, first radio station, Pressure FM. Moved on to Rude FM. Certain things, certain conspiracies happened with Rude. Broke off, went on to Rude Awakening. Still there now, every Sunday, 8 till 10, X-Man Herbsy.
I had to go right back and serve my apprenticeship on Cool FM, you know what I mean? And I was 30 then, and I didn't feel no way. I wasn't proud.
But what I want to say to MCs though is that, no disrespect, you know, even though you didn't work on a sound system to get where you are, it's harder still because there's nobody really guiding you when you're on a radio station. But when you're on a sound system, if you're no good, you know, they've got a replacement waiting in the wings for you, you know what I mean?
I think the best one that we've been on is probably, it's got to be Pyrotechnic for me. I quite love that one because they reach out to enough people, you get me? Loads of shouts outs, there's enough interactivity and all that.
They got a proper set down.
Yeah, proper set down there, you get me?
A couple of hi-fi speakers.
I hear that, man. They're nice people to get along with as well. So yeah, Pyrotechnic, boo!
I mean, you always need a vocalist on the radio just to inform people about what's going on, what they're listening to.
I went on Cool FM in May 93, and by like August I had Channel 4 coming to me saying, we want to do a documentary, you know, you guys are the biggest things in Jungle as MCs, and you know, there was people that waited long before me, and I got approached first, which straight away said to me, you know, it's just like when I was on the sound systems, I used to go there and there'd be like 15 guys dissing me, but there'd be 3 guys and 2 girls going, you know what, you're all right, you know, so that's what I feel off of that positive energy.
It come to a point where one day they had a big meeting in Cool FM and decided that they was going to categorise us, and I weren't really feeling that, and I ended up leaving about a year after that.
Big respect to the MCs that come through off radio stations at the end of the day. But you see, with sound system, it's from the slavery days. It goes way back. So when you hear man talk lyrics, it comes with the actual, you know what I mean, passion and a feeling where the people, you can see it in the audience face when you're MCing, that they say, well, look, there's MCs and there's MCs. You understand me?
Most MCs that are worth their salt or anywhere in the game have been on a pirate station, whether it be Cool FM, whether it be Rush, Weekend Rush back in the days, whether it be stations like that, that's where they mainly came from.
Persistence. A lot of persistence. It's a long game.
I've been in it a long time. I'm telling you, 12 years I've been in the game. So I want to big up everyone that supported me. And there's people out there that think I've just come. They think I've just like come in the last 3-4 years. So that's great. That means a lot of new people are getting into the music. So they need educating as well.
And you got to have patience. But as you go along, you can see you can get more out of it for yourself.
Yeah, well, you know, when you're starting out, you have to pay your dues. You know what I mean? You know, you have to go through, what you call it, the struggle. You understand me? Seeing, because you buck up on a lot of prima donnas, icons. You know what I'm saying? You know? So, you know, you just have to just know, say, you know, this is what I want to do. And I'm going to do it by any means necessary. Come out! Well, actually, I followed my old producer, Simon Harris. He was in the Guinness Book already for doing the yo-yo. Yeah? I just went along, seeing some people, about 15 or 20 people lined up in the line to go, and I'm standing up there watching them going up there. But I'm saying what they're doing, you know? And Simon said, they're trying out to break the speed rap. So I said, I could fucking, you know, enough for them. Then take all my peanut, they get this is where they get it from. I could go up there and do better than that, blood. You know what I mean? So I went there and, you know, one time it just broke same time. You know what I mean? And then I met Roy Castle. Hello. He invited me back to break it live on BBC in Shepherd's Bush. I went there and broke it again. Then they sent me to America, and I broke it back 2 more times. So, you know, 4 times in a row. So original, no gold teeth, bad boy. They can break it now if they want to. I've had enough.
You
know, I'm in Puerto Rico and I don't even know how they say it in their language, but they call me the Rottweiler in their language out there. And they're calling me like that from, you know, the first time I got there, you know, people are, yeah, hey, the Rottweiler. And I'm just like, this is crazy.
Some of them cats can't even speak English, you know what I mean? But they can MC their ass off in English, you know what I mean? It amazes me.
You know, Australia, it's crazy. Standing ovation business. You know, I have to go backstage. I need escort and stuff because you get mobbed. You do get mobbed.
There was a time when we weren't feeding the UK because the UK weren't feeding us. So that's why we went abroad, you know what I mean? And that's why, I mean, Germany's always embraced me from a longer time. And when you go to Germany, you see the love of the people. Do you know what I'm saying?
I honestly think, through the work I've done internationally, I think is the main reason why I've been #1 the last 3 years.
Strangest place, Philadelphia. Because you remind me of Bosnia blood.
The Amazon rainforest in Brazil. You get to be in the middle of the Amazon and so the first rule of Congo. It's like, yeah, wicked. I wrote that in Peckham.
Right about now, I've been quite a few countries, you get me, and everyone's feeling drum and bass. Like when you walk down in America, walk into a clothes store, they're playing drum and bass. You don't get that over here, do you know what I mean? Things like that.
I've heard people going on about drum and bass is a new house, blood.
Yeah, that's one.
That's how big it's getting.
Revolution, Foxy, revolution. That's why they don't call me fat, man. You know what I mean? Other than that, it's all good.
Best moments of my career so far, I mean, it's got to be winning the awards. You know, there's so many of us MCing week in, week out. And just to get some kind of, you know, some kind of reward for the work that you've done is flipping great.
When you get booked for the States with the raves, they'll have a room with drum and bass and another room will be hip hop. You know what I mean? So I'm mixing and rubbing shoulders and staying in the hotel as the Ice Teas and the M&Ms and, you know what I mean? You get to meet these people through your travels and they're like, yeah, and they actually big you up because they've actually heard what you've done and you're like, whoa.
Done things like stuff in the charts as well, you know, being played on Radio 1 and stuff like that. That's quite a great achievement for me, you know what I mean? To be played on radio.
I think one of the best was when I've done a thing in Miami, done the Ultra Festival a couple of years ago, and I think there's a big mix-up between Bad Company and a group called Bad Company in the States that do like rock and metal and shit, and I think they thought they was meant to be playing in the main arena, and it ended up being like me, Vegas, Fat Man, and one of the other guys there from Bad Company performing in front of like 15,000 people or something like that. It was massive.
The high points is just staying in the best hotels and just traveling the world every week and just meeting different people all over and seeing the crowd go wild and signing autographs. That's the high points. You know what I mean? The lifestyle is just crazy, but
I think that's the best part of the job, the buzz. You know, like when people say, like when you get up in front of a big crowd and you get some kind of response and that kind of thing, you get that welling in the stomach, almost like tears to the eyes. Better than drugs, better than sex.
If you catch me in a room full of people and they're like, oh, I can't do a rap, do a rhyme, it's like I get shy. I go in my show, it's like, oh. But you give me a mic and put me on the stage, it's like the waiting thing goes and failures kicks in. You know what I mean?
I feel like I've been on tour for 5 years. You know, you check Jay-Z or Eminem or some certain big stars and they're like, yeah, we've been on tour for 8 months and it's really hard and shit. This is really like being on tour for the last 5 years.
Running around, late nights, lots of mileage on cars, points on your license. Hard work, man.
Been working so much throughout the week. Then come on a Saturday night where the largest event of the week is, I'm gone. I'm totally wasted.
I haven't had a holiday since 1986. That's even before I started MCing. I'm gonna have my first holiday next week for 4 days. I'm gonna go to Amsterdam and smoke weed.
Boy, you can hear by my voice, man. I just come back from Cyprus, got off the plane, come straight here. I've cancelled like 4 shows yesterday and Thursday and Friday. And it's crazy, I'm doing like 2 and 3 a day, every day of the week. I maybe get 1 day off now.
These days, it's not just Friday and Saturday gigs. Far from it. It's very much, you do Wednesday, Tuesday, there's things all the time.
A good week I can do like 9 in 3 days sometimes. Like 3 on a Friday, 3 on a Saturday, 3 on a Thursday, 3 on a Friday, 3 on a Saturday. On a bad week, 1. But it all offsets each other, do you know what I mean?
One check, one check, one check, one check, one check, one check, one.
No, it's not a power struggle, DJs are scared. Yeah, it's not a power struggle. It's a case of, at the end of the day, you get some people like, yeah, you can go in a club and we'll put it this way, you can't have a night and put 5 MCs on the lineup and have no DJs, because that'll be a bit nuts.
Because back in the days, when you go through Do Magic or something like that now, the MC was back in the box. They used to saw the DJ, you know what I mean? But now they've given us a stage because we wear pretty clothes and and whatever, and the kids were like a little role model or something to look up to, apart from a DJ just standing there just mixing away and not smiling.
You see, I get on with nearly all the DJs because I've made a point to, because I don't really want to be going on there and got to chat on the mic and the DJ wants to turn down the mic and all them kind of things there. So, is there a power struggle? I think there is a power struggle between some MCs and some DJs.
Maybe from where they come from and the circles that they move in, because it's hard to detach yourself from that if that's where you're from. You know what I mean? I came from that side of things, and it's like somebody I said the other day, when I first got into it, because of the Tottenham, Edmonton, Hackney, West London, whatever beefs, like 88, 89, even from before that. And I think, right, I want to make something of myself and do this business and become an MC and whatever. And you're going in these raves, it's kids from all north, south, east, west, bad boys, good boys, whatever. And you're coming in a rave to do your job and you're meeting a crew that you've got a rival with for the last 4 years, you know what I mean? And it's going to kick off. You know? Sometimes it's not even your fault.
Put it this way, I ain't been on a rave a long time where I can see a certain MC and I know he's a bad man or he's a da-da-da-da-da. Because, you know what I mean, at the end of the day, I talk to everybody. You know what I mean? From skipper to bassman to all that man there, to Shabba, to Fearless, to, you know what I mean? I speak to all them man there. All them men there are cool. They ain't got no hostility. They don't go around with their face all screw up, you know what I mean?
But for the MCs that are in that bad boy style and they bring that to